right, welcome to our second day that we're going to add to our notebook. You'll need a glue stick, scissors, something to write with, your math notebook, and this page that you will be receiving home at pickup on Monday. Once you have those, cut it out and glue it into the next open page. Let me show you how my notebook is set up right now. Here's my notebook cover. The first page that we worked on, and it'll be the second page. Notice that I did not go front to back. Once you have those glued in, we'll begin shortly. All right, let's begin. It says at the very top, Pete's Pet Store gets, let's cut off here. Sorry about that. For every 2 aquarium plants. So we have step 1, the X plants 1, 2, 3, and 4. Notice it's increasing by 1. We want to find out the cost. We know if we have 2 plants, the cost is $5. Here is our coordinate plane with our ordered pair. So we need to now find out how much 1 cost. Well, we're going to divide that by 2 because we notice that 2 divided by 2 is 1. And we're going backwards. That would be scaling backwards. So we're going to go 5 divided by 2 comes out to be, whoops, there we go, $2.50. Well, let me change pens. All right, so $2.50. Let's try one more pen. This is like a price, so I'm not for sure why it's not labeled, but please label a price with a $sign and your decimal. So the ordered pair would be 1, comma, $2.50. Okay? Now, when we think of 3, we're just going to add 5 to 250, or 3 times 25. Think of 3/4, and you should know 3/4 is 75 cents, so it's $7.50. So our ordered pair is 3 and $7.50. Now we want to figure out how we go from 1 to 4. You should be thinking about multiplication or division here. So are we going to use multiplication or division to go from 1 to 4? Well, 1 times 4 is 4. So now take 25, because I'm always using that as a quarter reference. So I take 25 times 4, or if I have 4/4, it equals $1. In this case, we're adding in a zero, so it becomes $10 for the cost. So our ordered pair is 4 and 10. You should be up to this point as well. If not, please pause the video and go ahead and get caught up. We have an x-axis that is going to be labeled plants. Go ahead and write plants down. We have the y-axis, which is going to be labeled as cost. I'm going to move my notebook to write cost. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to go ahead and place my origin at 0 and 0. Then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Now, to make it a little bit more fancier, we're going to skip a line, if you can see that. Then I'm going to go up to 5, skip a line, go up to 10, and so on and so forth. Your graph, your coordinate plane should look like mine. Now, the first one reads 1 and 250. So I'm going to go over 1, because that's my x, and up to 50, and it's right here on this line. Next, I'm going to go over 2 and up to 5. So over 2, up to 5. There's that point. Next one, I'm going to go over 3 and up to 750. And by now, you probably have figured out the next one will be 4 and 10. I'm going over 4, up 10. Now you can also draw a line to connect them and show how that will look going farther out to expand it. We have a question over here. How much would 7 plants cost? Well, I know that 1 will cost me $2.50. So I can take 7, multiply it by $2.50. And if you figure that out, and if you're not for sure, look at this. I have some extra page space up here. I can go and take $2.50, or 25 times 7, and solve that. 5 times 7 is 35. 2 times 7 is 14, plus a 3 makes it 17. Add my 0 back in because this was 250 and put the decimal. So it's actually $17.50 for 7 plants. How many plants can you buy with $20? Well, with $10, I get 4 plants. If I double that, then I would have 8 plants. 8 plants. All right. Let's look at the bottom part of our item here. In this corner, we start with the origin, which is always at 0 and 0. Write down origin, and I'm going to put 0 and 0. This is a straight line on how it's showing the graph going up. Now it says Pete's Pet Store has 6 female fish for every 3 males. So 6 and 3. What if they had 1 male? How would we get back to that female? Well, remember there's only 2 operations that we're using. We're using either multiplication or we're using division. So if we want to know how to get from 3 to 1, we're going to divide it by 3. So, and it's the same at the top to the bottom, divide by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. What if I put in here 8? What if I put in here 7? Well, I'm going to scale forward. How do I move from 2 to 8? 2 times what will give me 8? And if you said 4, you are correct. So times this by 4, times the bottom one by 4. 1 times 4 is 4. How do we go from 1 to 7? Again, scaling forward, that would be multiplication. 1 to 7, you would multiply it by 7. 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Put down your ordered pair with the X first, and then the second next. Pickup, you are dismissed. Have a great weekend. So it goes 2, 1, 6, 3, 8, 4, and 14, 7. Now we need to set this up in step 2. We need to figure out what our x-axis is that runs this way. And it says female. So go ahead and write female. And then we're going to write male because that's what the y-axis is. And you should by now figure out where the origin is at, 0 and 0. And we're going to go ahead and label the bottom of the X by 1. So count over by 1s, beginning with 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. There we have it. Now, we're going to go up on the y-axis. And this time, instead of going 1, second wave, you're released. Have a great weekend. We're going to go by 2. So we're going to skip a row, 2, skip a row, 4, skip a row, 6, and so on and so forth. There we have our graph coordinate plane. First one that we're going to graph on here, it says 2 and 1. So over 2, up 1. And the next one, we're going to go over 6 and up 3. Next one, we're going to go over 8 and up 4. And so on and so forth. Now, because we do not have a 14 and 7, we're not able to graph that. But we certainly can go ahead and draw a line as neat as possible to show our straight line. Now, if there are 8 female, which we figured out here, how many male fish would there be? Well, we know the answer would be what? If there are 8 female, how many male fish are there? if there are 9 male fish, how many female fish are there? Well, we double that because we've noticed that for every number that we see here, it's a double. So double the 9 becomes 18. Jot down a couple things that you want to remember about using racial tables and racial graphs here, please. When you have this finished, please go ahead and send me a photo of your notebook. I look forward to seeing them. And don't forget, you may always pause the videos to rewatch them. Thank you.